You already started setting it off right away at the top of the show, and I mean, how's it been finishing up your West Coast leg of your tour? I mean, has anything stand out more than ever?
Yeah, man, this was the most exciting and cathartic tour I've ever been on. I also got robbed on this tour, and
Oh my
that's a
God.
crazy story. That's a crazy story all on its own. But aside from that insane event,
Were you robbed in LA?
I was robbed in Portland,
Oh,
actually.
Portland. Oh,
Yeah,
it was a junkie. Was it a junkie?
Yeah,
It
I
was
also
totally a
got
junkie.
I got my stuff back. That's the crazy part. We
Oh.
found the people who took it. It was an entire event. It was crazy. However, the rest of the tour wasn't as, as sexy as that. It was an insanely great tour. We had record numbers everywhere we went. We pulled tickets everywhere we went. I was just excited and happy about that.
But I can't just let you slide, Damian, with the stolen gear story. I always love those kind of fun stories. We just literally had last Friday a great punk SoCal band called Moonraker, and they got their stolen gear from Mexico. So you just got yours recently in Portland. How can that possibly happen? Is someone like grading a chain lock and breaking into your guys' van?
I think what we got. I think honestly, it's all very up in the air, and it just happened 2 days ago. So I think what happened was that we got kind of hit by some really organized crime. I think as soon as we arrived at the venue, we were approached by some kind of shady characters that were kind of just asking questions about the show, which is pretty normal. Like, you always interact with people from the city, and it's normal to get asked questions about, is the show all ages? Can you get us in? Like, that's totally normal. But I think we were distracted, or something happened where during our loadout, for a split second, there was a window where maybe nobody was looking, and they snagged our bags and Raquel's purse, my touring partner's purse. And we didn't notice until the load out, where we're putting all of our gear back, and we're like, wait, where's our stuff?
Oh, wow.
And we get to the Airbnb, and I open the trunk, and our luggage is gone too. And we're like, oh my God, they took our luggage.
They took everything. That was more than one person. That was definitely more than one.
And I'm like, bro, my bag is like 20 pounds. My luggage is 50 pounds. Raquel's luggage is 70 pounds. We're like, how could this have happened? And then in that moment, I look at Raquel and I go, dude, you have air tags in your luggage. We can track down where our shit's at. And we're like, oh my God. And this is already 1:32 in the morning. And we look on our phones, and sure enough, an air tag lights up 30 minutes on the edge of Portland, and it's still there. And we're like, we're getting our shit back. And my tour manager's like, we're getting vengeance. And everybody.
So it's a soprano moment.
So we're like, we're going to fucking Portland, and we're getting our shit back. So we drive 30 minutes, and the whole time we're tracking, and we're like, what are we doing? We're calling the police. We're calling the hotel. Oh, and it's in a hotel. It's in a motel called Portland Inn.
Yeah.
So we know that the people are still there who have our stuff. So we're driving. We're calling the police. We're doing all the things we can. We get there, and like, we're using the phone all over the hotel. The hotel is shady as hell. Obviously, it's like a dingy, grungy ass hotel. There's like addicts everywhere. There's Jethros everywhere. And we're like, this is the final boss of the tour, right?
It's one of the bosses in Elden Ring. You had no idea that you were going to be confronting this big ass beast.
So we wait about 25 minutes. At this point, we've called the police maybe 5 times.
And they've given us
response. They've given us that, hey, we don't know when people are getting there. We know that we've gotten your report. It's a busy night. It's a Friday night. So it's insane, So we're waiting there. Whole time, Raquel and my guys were all like waiting in the van, like kind of trying to game plan what we're going to do. My tour manager is like counseling the people who are at this hotel. And he's like getting reconnaissance, like who's in that room? What's the situation? We know that like shit's already going down here, because one of the hotel rooms that we walked by, the door was open, and there's stolen cell phones galore,
oh my God,
shoes, jewelry. It was already, they had already had stuff in there. And I was like, man, I bet some of our stuff's in there too. Long story short, our TM, his name's Andreas Daza. He's the fucking Bav, the craziest man in the world. He knocks on the door, and sure enough, a dude peeks his head through the window, and like by the way, I'm in a van 3 stories down, so I'm watching this happen. He opens the door and Daza walks in. At this point, me, Luke, and Raquel jump out of the van and we're running to the hotel room. So we run there, and when we walk inside, it's two like crackheads, and all of our stuff is itemized in this hotel room.
Wow.
So all of our shoes are in one corner, all of our show clothes are in one corner, our toiletries in one corner, our electronics are in one corner. They separated all of our stuff in little rooms. And
not the first time they robbed somebody.
Yeah, that's organized crime. I mean, this don't sound like that's insane.
Well, did you end up fighting them? I just want to know. Did you guys go to blows? Because I would have been smacking some motherfuckers. I'd be like, legit, dude. It'd be on and cracking.
He'd be just drop kicking right in the face.
Dude, we were so upset because what ended up happening was as soon as Daza had mentioned that the police were on their way, homeboy starts freaking out. He puts his hands in his coat. We're like, hey, dude, like relax. He's backing out behind the door. He boots it to the door. Luke is by the door, like holding him down. He swings at Luke. He punches Luke. He runs through, and we're like, yo, like don't chase him. Let him run away. It's not worth it. And then but the whole time, like while this is happening, my bass player and my keyboard player, Eli and Marty, are holding the fort down by the van. They're watching the van. They call the police. They tell them when assaults happen. Now the police are arriving. Now, finally, now that there's a physical assault, somebody's arriving. But by that point, we'd already scavenged the entire hotel room. At that point, we didn't give a fuck because all that was left was his cracked out girlfriend. So she's freaking out.
And you're just missing out on the vlog. I need a vlog moment of this one. That is insane. You know what would be really cool? Actually, shoot a music video about this encounter.
I know.
That
dude.
would actually
I
be kind of a crazy experience.
So luckily, we were able to get back about maybe 50 to 60% of our stuff back. The key items are still missing, but the most important part and the biggest lesson learned is that one, our lives are worth more than any piece of clothing or any piece of tech or any piece of anything. We're worth a lot more. And I also learned that for $100, you get 4 air tags. And I'm learning that you need to tag everything possible.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? I think that's actually such a valuable lesson for a lot of up and coming, rock stars and musicians out there that want to make it in the game. Because
and here's the thing: like I'm no scrub. None of us on the road are scrubs, man. Dawes has been touring professionally since 2016. I've been touring since I've been 18. That I have 7 years of touring under my belt. I'm extremely careful on the road. This happens it's never a matter of when, it's always a matter of, or I'm sorry, it's not a matter of if, it's always a matter of when it's going to happen. You have to prepare for worst case scenario. You always have to have an eye on the van. Now I know you have to have eyes on both sides of the van. Fuck it, 4 sides of the van. Make sure the entire perimeter of the van is covered every stop you make.
Well, thank God, for iOS devices now. Like just like how you said, I mean, it's just like when you lose your car keys, you lose your phone. I mean, you could even put a magnet under the van and you go, why the hell did my trailer just go?
Yeah, I know, dude.
Hey, why is my trailer driving off by itself?
Yeah, why is it driving down the I-35?
Wait a minute.
So my manager was like, look, $400. I'm buying enough air tags to stuff in your ass. One is going in your ass. One's going in your ass. I'm keeping track of all of you. We are never losing each other.
So instead of the days of, getting a condom and sticking your drugs up your ass, stick an air tag in, and you guys will be completely successful on the road. You know what, Damian Gutierrez? I think that's such a great point.